Good morning, everyone. Very exciting day here in Prince George's, and I apologize for keeping everyone waiting. As you know, it's never a quiet moment in the county, and so I apologize. We had some things we had to care for very early on, but how delighted I am to be here today with the Greater Washington Community Foundation and all of our partners to announce the launch of Thrive Prince George's, a guaranteed basic income pilot program. That probably does deserve a round of applause. We are delighted to see Dr. Askew here with us yet again. We told him he could not get away from us completely, and he has not. So I want to thank him, the Community Foundation, the Meyer Foundation, and also thank the County Council for their contributions that, along with $1 million that I have allocated, will provide a total of $4 million to ensure that we're able to pilot this program for Prince Georgians who are most in need. I also want to thank our Department of Social Services for the work that they have done. Gloria Burnett is here today. I want to thank her so much for her leadership to help us administer Thrive Prince George's. A guaranteed basic income is a proven way to help lift people up. These unconditional cash payments help vulnerable residents rise from the cycle of poverty. The Stockholm Economic Empowerment Demonstration, called SEED, was the nation's first mayor-led guaranteed income program. Back in 2019, SEED began giving 125 residents of Stockton, California, a guaranteed income of $500 per month. And the findings of this program were absolutely remarkable. Residents who received the income saw their income volatility drop, which helped them plan for and cover expenses without surprises. Recipients' health improved, their anxiety dropped, and their well-being increased. The payments helped many Stockton residents find full-time employment because they had the time and energy to look for more permanent work. Overall, the program created new opportunities, allowing residents to make choices about what they would do, setting goals that allowed for greater freedom. By giving funds to low-income people, we afford them the opportunity to choose what they want to do with their time, to find more stable jobs, to gain new skills, and to spend more time with their family. Short, guaranteed income programs are about giving everyone in our community the chance to dream. Study after study confirms that these programs work. All across the country, these guaranteed income programs, also called universal basic income, help people thrive. And our pilot program will provide direct cash assistance to residents with no strings attached for 24 months. I know you're going to hear from her in a moment, but I also want to thank Councilwoman Crystal Oriata for being here and thank her for her leadership. We're using these funds to help two particularly vulnerable groups of Prince Georgians: seniors on fixed incomes and youth who are aging out of the foster care system. The total cost for this pilot program is $4 million, and we're thankful, again, for the partnership of the Greater Washington Community Foundation and the Meyer Foundation for contributing $1 million each to help seed the county's pilot program. With matching funds from the county, the program will run for the next 2 years, and we were able to provide funding for this program without compromising our budget, which is very important. I also want to thank Dr. Sanmi Ariola, who is here, our Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Health and Human Services. Thank you so much for your leadership. This program will be carried out by local nonprofit organizations. We were able to allocate $1 million in ARPA funds that are meant to help nonprofits build capacity, and in doing so will help Thrive Prince George's reach even more residents. Other nearby jurisdictions are already exploring guaranteed basic income programs, and guaranteed income can enable a person to pay down debt, move into permanent housing, further their education to secure a better job, or spend valuable time with family. Guaranteed basic income programs change lives for the better. Struggling financially is often much more expensive than having stable incomes and stable finances. For our residents who are struggling to meet basic needs, this program will help stabilize their finances and have a tremendous positive impact on their quality of life. With a guaranteed, steady stream of income, pursuing new opportunities will be much easier. It is our hope that this program will lift Prince Georgians out of poverty, setting up some of our most vulnerable residents for success now and for years to come, even after the program ends. So once again, I want to thank all of our partners for helping to carry this project across the finish line. I am so Prince George is proud that we can pursue innovative opportunities like this guaranteed basic income program that promises to help our residents pursue happiness. So thank you. And I believe we have some other speakers today. I believe we're going to next hear from Councilmember Oriada. Are you, or, okay, I'm sorry. All right, so we're going to hand over now to Community Foundation. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. The county executive has done an amazing job of setting the stage for the launch of Thrive Prince George's. So the Community Foundation, my name is Tony Owellins. I am the president and CEO of the Greater Washington Community Foundation, and I also happen to be a proud 28-year resident of Prince George's County. And so it is absolutely a great pleasure, thank you, to be able to launch this program here in the place that I call home. So the Community Foundation, along with our partners, contend that the opportunity to increase economic mobility and close our region's persistent racial wealth gap is perhaps the most catalytic opportunity for impact in our lifetime. There are a number of ways to get there, and we believe that this initiative, Thrive Prince George's, is a step in that direction. Thrive Prince George's is the outgrowth of the Community Foundation's 10-year strategic plan and our ambitions to put more philanthropic resources directly in the hands of people who need them most. We want to engage our partners like government, like our peers and partners in philanthropy, and to look at policy options for long-term reforms that modernize our social safety net. We know that the cost of living in our region has outpaced wages and that people are struggling, not just due to individual choices. Our economy is out of balance, and people at the lower ends of the socioeconomic spectrum and those with barriers are often struggling the most. Thrive is an innovative 2-year, $4 million, as the county executive noted, guaranteed income pilot that seeks to provide greater economic mobility and stability for families in the county. It builds on similar investments in the region, including Let's Go DMV, including Arlington's Guarantee, and MoCo Boost, or Montgomery County Boost. As the county executive, for aging out of foster care or have aged out of foster care, and to up to approximately 125 seniors for a 24-month period. So if you're asking why a guaranteed income, it's because it works. There are more than 100 pilots that are operating across the entire country. And we know from our own experience during the pandemic that cash transfers and guaranteed income can really help families move from crisis to stability, from stability to mobility. The positive impacts, as you've heard, have been studied for decades now. And evidence is increasing that a monthly payment can reduce income volatility and support recipients in attaining full-time employment, of course, greater health outcomes and housing stability. In fact, the studies show that a modest guaranteed income can decrease poverty by as much as 40%. These programs are designed to put cash directly in the hands of families and individuals that need them most, allowing them to make choices about how they improve their economic position and what they need to prosper. And so we are excited to take this proven economic strategy and implement it right here in the county. So one of the questions before us today is not whether or not guaranteed income works. The question that we have to answer is how do we move it from pilot to sustainability. Again, how do we modernize our social safety net? This exciting partnership is a public-private partnership. It includes, as the county executive noted, the Greater Washington Community Foundation, the Prince George's County Executive's Office, our county council, and the Meyer Foundation. We are also working incredibly closely with Prince George's County's Department of Social Services, as you all heard, led by the amazing Gloria Brown Burnett. Department of Social Services provides intervention services that strengthen families and protect children and vulnerable adults. Gloria and her team have been an integral part of the design and getting us over the finish line to today's event. So, who else are we working with? Thrive Prince George's will be implemented in collaboration with 4 community-based partners, and you'll get to hear a little bit from them today. United Communities Against Poverty, led by Rashida Jameson, President and CEO, will be working with our senior population. The court-appointed Special Advocates of Prince George's County, led by Yolanda Johnson, will be working with our youth who have aged out of the foster care system. Prince George's County Changemakers, led by Jana Parker, who's the Deputy Executive Director, but here today representing them is Timothy Williams, who leads the Universal Basic Income campaign right here in the county. They are our partner, our engagement partner. Prince George's County Changemakers have worked very long to advocate for guaranteed basic income in the county, and they are a member of the Prince George's Guaranteed Basic Income Coalition, which also includes the NAACP, Casa de Maryland, Life After Release, and Progressive Maryland, and we want to thank them for their collective work on this issue. Another important partner includes the Capital Area Asset Builders, led by Joseph Lightman Santa Cruz, who is the CEO and Executive Director. CAB, as they are affectionately called, is our technical assistance provider for this pilot. We engaged CAB because of their long-standing both belief and experience in cash transfer to residents and to a broader range of financial services. They have a deeply held belief that in order to achieve financial sustainability and stability, a guaranteed income is definitely needed. Since 2017, CAB has worked with over 10 guaranteed income pilots in the entire region, and we are pleased to have them as a key critical partner. A very special thanks to all of our partners for their financial support and deep commitment to the residents of Prince George's County. I just want to make sure that I got everyone. I spoke about UCAP, CASA, CAB, PG Changemakers. We got everyone. And so up next, I want to invite, let me introduce Councilmember Crystal Oriata. So Councilmember Oriata represents District 7. And she is a freshman councilwoman who is incredibly thoughtful. She is strategic and has been an amazing partner to work with. In March of 2023, in March of this year, she introduced CR 018-2023, which was legislation creating a guaranteed basic income pilot for Prince George's County. And we have worked really closely with her and her team to make this vision a reality. And I want to say that she was able to get full council support, which is a really, really big accomplishment toward this impactful initiative. And so we are incredibly grateful for her foresight and tenacity on this issue. And we want to invite you to the stage to offer some reflections.
Thank you. Just want to start off by saying thank you. And thank you for all the work. I don't think we can all echo it enough from all of the partners that have made today possible. And I think this is a great example about how people can watch government working for them. And I say that because a few years ago, an advocate they mentioned, Timothy, came to myself and a couple of organizers and said they have this great thing called guaranteed basic income, and we need it here in Prince George's County. And to see 2 years later that all stakeholders, the county council, the county executive's office, looking at foundations like the Greater Washington Foundation, the Meyer Foundation, agencies came together to create this and make it a reality. And so I just think this is an example of how the community can see that you can make a difference. If you have an idea as an individual and you mobilize and you organize, that it can come to fruition. And today is that. And it's something that's also for the community. And it's something that makes, when we talk about entitlements and social services and benefits, dignity has been stripping away from that. This idea that these individuals need to be told how to spend their resources, that they don't know what they need. And the amazing thing about this program is it brings dignity back. It says that we know that we can trust you. We know that you know what is best for you. And what our job as a government and as the private sector, when we talk about funneling resources, is our job to help you meet in the middle the gaps that you have. That can look like paying for your groceries. That could look like you need a little bit more money to pay for your property taxes this year. That could look like you need childcare services, or you want to start an online business, or you want to go back to school, childcare. As many know, I'm a new mom. And when I looked at how much daycare is going to cost, I cannot imagine how people that are working minimum wage can afford to put their child in daycare. And so we had so many families that are making those tough decisions about, can I work or can I have childcare? I talked to a young lady that is exactly what this program is about. She just aged out of the foster care system. She's also a returning citizen, and she had a young child. And she could not maintain the job because she could not maintain daycare. And so a program like this is going to give her the opportunity to meet those basic needs that she has, because she wants to work. She wants to make sure that she never falls back into the same system or situation that she was in before, but she just needs a little bit of help to get there. And so I am so thankful. I know my colleagues were tired of hearing guaranteed basic income for the last year, but I knew that we could make a difference here in Prince George's County. And so many jurisdictions, as was mentioned earlier, around the country have done it, but we can do that for our community. And so I'm thankful to the county executive. I'm thankful to my colleagues on the council. I am immensely thankful because we could not be here without the private dollars from the Meyer Foundation, from Greater Washington Foundation. You guys seeing this as a priority and as a need. I didn't even have to come to them. They already had this as an agenda and a priority. So it was a perfect storm that today happened. And so I'm excited for this to launch. I'm excited for the communities and the lives that we are going to change. And I'm hopeful that what we are doing here today and all these local jurisdictions are doing around the country will help the federal government and the state move to make this a permanent thing that we can see here in America, in the United States of America, guaranteed basic income for everyone. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Gloria Brown Burnett. I am the director of the Prince George's County Department of Social Services. I join my colleagues and all of our partners this morning in welcoming you to the launch of Thrive Prince George's. I just love the ring of that. We have long envisioned this initiative. We've been talking about it for years. And after months of discussion, hard work, and collaboration, today this public-private partnership is coming to fruition. And what a difference Thrive Prince George's will make in the lives of youth that have aged out of foster care, senior citizens, and communities here in Prince George's County. This effort would not be possible without our implementation partners, as was previously mentioned, Capital Area Asset Builders, Prince George's Chains Makers, Court-appointed Special Advocates Prince George's County, and United Communities Against Poverty, which I call UCAP. And so at this time, I want to really impress upon you how important this initiative is. And because of that, we're bringing some people before you to help you visualize the impact. Established in 1964, UCAP, 64 was a good year. UCAP, one of the largest nonprofit organizations in Prince George's County, was designated a community action agency in 1978. UCAP serves approximately 4,200 low to moderate income individuals and families each year that are facing educational, housing, economic, or healthcare related hardship. They provide services that build self-sufficiency and create economic opportunity. We are pleased to have them as one of our implementation partners. Representing UCAP today is Ms. Melvina Brooks. Ms. Brooks served as UCAP's Senior Volunteer Coordinator for over 30 years. Even in retirement, Ms. Brooks has remained an active community member and a champion for seniors in Prince George's County. We asked Ms. Brooks, what would an effort like this mean for seniors in Prince George's County? Please welcome Ms. Melvina Brooks.
Good morning. I'm here to talk about the seniors program at UCAP. And after reaching the ripe old age of 89, I think I'm qualified. I started working for the UCAP senior program in 1995. And at that time, Mr. Leon Harrison was the chairman of the board. He served very well, and until Mr. Arthur Turner became president of the board. And he served well until he retired. But what I want to talk about is the seniors. We have a wonderful group of seniors who really love this program. This program is so important to them. It provides them with outings that they would never be able to go on without some help. And sometimes, you know, the family is not available to take you on these trips. And UCAP, you know, fills in the gap. And we take trips to different parts of Maryland, and we enjoy ourselves. This program gives them a chance to get out of the house, not be stuck in the house all the time, because that's where you find seniors. They don't have a family to take care of them and provide these services for them. But UCAP does. UCAP does a wonderful job. It serves food. They gave us turkeys for our Thanksgiving meals. And they're just wonderful to the seniors. And the seniors love this program. They love it. I mean, you should be on the van with us sometimes and hear us, you know, talk about what we want in our activities. I mean, it's almost like going crazy. I mean, but it's just UCAP. UCAP. I like to take the seniors on trips that are free. Part of my background, I guess. Don't like to pay for things, okay? But anyway, you know, we visit places like the Martin Luther King Memorial on the Mall. We go to the Delano Roosevelt his memorial on the Mall. We go to Baltimore to the Black National Museum. And we just visit places, get them out of the house, give them something to do and appreciate. and we really appreciate it, I'm telling you. We pick seniors up. So they don't have to worry about transporting themselves from one point to the other. You can provide that service for them. I wanted to say that without the professional help that you get from the staff that you have, you're a wonderful group of people who provide the service for seniors. And I just wanted to say, just thank you very much for your help. Because you've been wonderful. We have our driver who drives us around. I mean, he's the best driver this side of the Mississippi. He gets us to where we want to go. And we just enjoy ourselves. You know, you have to be on that van to really appreciate it. Well, I mean, we really enjoy ourselves. And it's a chance to get out, see the world, interact with people. We went to the Lexington Market one day, and you know, they have this absolutely wonderful food, and we didn't hesitate to participate, to partake, I should say. But anyway, I just wanted to give an idea. Of Prince George's County. Thank you very much.
Let's give another round of applause for Ms. Brooks. Ms. Brooks is actually describing exactly the kind of activities that we want seniors in Prince George's County to be able to participate in, and the amazing work that UCAP does, which is why we've chosen them to be one of our key partners. It really is about moving families from crisis to stability, from stability to mobility, so that they actually have an opportunity to thrive. So thank you so much, UCAP and Ms. Brooks, for your remarks. So it's interesting. Gloria mentioned that we've been talking about this for years, and we have. And sitting here preparing for this event, we really began to reflect on how long we've been talking about the opportunity to bring more philanthropic capital to Prince George's County, and more ways, again, to modernize our social safety net so that people can really have a chance to make it here. Speaking of partners, Dr. George Askew is not new to Prince George's County. Again, the county executive named his former role here in the county, but we also have been plotting and planning since he came back to town and took on the role. And we're even more the ability to make this partnership come to fruition, full fruition, really has matured over the last year. And so without further ado, I really want to invite to the stage our amazing partner in the Meyer Foundation President and CEO, Dr. George Askew.
Thank you, Tonya. Good morning, everybody. As Tonya said, I'm going to use this.
Well, I was hopeful that one was working, but let's, talk. Yeah.
How about that? Nothing. So,
It's working. They're here. The cameras are picking you up.
how's that? Yep, you hear him now? All right, beautiful. As Tonya said, I am George Askew here on behalf of the Meyer Foundation in the Washington D.C. Where I serve as president and CEO. Today, I'm actually joined by a member of our board, our executive committee, Ryan Young, and one of our staff members, Misty Millset, who was also here with me when I was in the county. clearly, this is something that's important to Meyer, and I feel well supported in having some of my team here. As the leader of a foundation whose mission is to pursue and invest in solutions that build an equitable Greater Washington community in which economically disadvantaged people thrive, I'm thrilled to be here to represent Meyer as a co-funder of the Thrive Prince George's County Guaranteed Basic Income Pilot. As a resident and a former public servant right here in Prince George's County, I'm especially thrilled to be here today in support of this investment in the aspirations and dignity of individuals in the community I call home. Among the many reasons I love this community is its diversity, the pride of its residents, and the way we come together to uplift one another. This landmark public-private partnership will route unrestricted, unconditional resources directly toward individuals facing some of the most significant social, economic, and health challenges, supporting their autonomy and capacity to make the best choices for themselves, and accelerating their economic and social mobility. I'm optimistic about the potential that this pilot has for the future of Prince George's County. And in Prince George's and beyond, all communities stand to benefit when the people who live in those communities can do so with fewer hardships and with the means to honor their self-determination. The Meyer Foundation and I are so proud to be partnering with the Greater Washington Community Foundation and the Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, Crystal Oriata and the county and the rest of the county, Prince George's County Council, and growing the movement for racial and economic justice. As I mentioned earlier, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this today, as I mentioned earlier, I'm also a resident of Prince George's County. I live in Riverdale Park, Maryland, and I wanted to send my condolences to the families of the two children who were on their way to Riverdale Elementary School yesterday who were struck and killed by an automobile. I know that words offer little consolation, but I hope those families know. I'm also a pediatrician and a parent. I hope those families know that there's a community that has their arms wrapped around them today. Thank you.
You know I can't more than you know. Okay, I'm back. Court-appointed special advocates, Prince George's County, is another one of our implementation partners, and they will be working with youth who have aged out of foster care. I'm especially excited about this one. They have served youth, because we work very close in partnership to support and advocate for our youth. Court-appointed special advocates, Prince George's County, have served youth experiencing foster care for over 2 decades. Each year, their staff and volunteers advocate for about 200 young people to receive the services and resources they need to thrive. Their partnership will make a real difference in the lives of youth that have experienced foster care. 2 young people who have benefited from CASA's advocacy are here today to talk about the potential impact that Thrive Prince George's can have on young people who have aged out of foster care. Welcome, Donovan Turner and Kenny Curtis.
Good morning, everybody. So I've been in CASA since the age of 8, but I've aged out 4 years ago. But I still get my support from them. So saving money is going to be a big part for the people that's aging out of foster care, just to help you succeed in life. That's all I got to say for real.
I'm Kenneth. I don't need a mic. I'm Kenneth Curtis. It's been about 10 years for me. It just depends on who you are as the child, or emancipating out of the system. It can help or it can spoil the child. It just depends. But it can be beneficial because there's no support. People don't come out with parents, or people barely had friends. I had friends. I had people I could gravitate to. So I had the housing kind of like and the funds. But it's just who you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say the funds just gonna make everything better, to be honest with you. But it's just, housing, and just if people could just come behind and just have a word of mouth behind the money towards the kids, it'd be a big help. I'm trying to be a lot clear. I've been going through a lot last couple of days as far as family members and things, so I'm trying to keep it together, but I'm on the freestyle type of tip. But just as you all funding the kids, just stay behind them, just peek in on them, let them go through mental illness, let them have illness, just check up on them, because the funds could, help, or it could be a downfall. So, and I'm just talking off experience and just seeing people around me emancipating from out of the system. So, that's all. That's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you for everyone who has given remarks. We would like to open things up now to the media who's in the room for any questions that you might have. I know we've had a couple of audio issues this morning. Our cameras have been able to hear, but not everyone in the room at times. So if you do have a question, go ahead and ask, and then we'll make sure we have a microphone for whoever is answering, if they'd like to answer from the audience or if they want to come up. So I know we have one in the front.
Thank you. So the participants have not yet been selected. We expect that in mid-December, the applications will open. The selection period will probably take 4 to 6 weeks, and first payments by the beginning of 2024. That is our expectation.
Okay.
Whoever talks, if they could go up to the podium.
Podium, okay.
That's where my mic is. Sorry. Okay. In terms of breaking down stereotypes of a program like this, obviously people who are not familiar with these types of programs might think, by the way, Jay with Channel 7, forgive me. They might think that this money is spent on frivolous things. Could Ms. Wallens talk about sort of looking at the data from other programs, Montgomery County, Alexandria, Washington, D.C., where are you seeing this money go to? And specifically, it's not going to booze and weed.
Thank you. The question was really about breaking down some of the stereotypes associated with cash transfer or guaranteed basic income. And I appreciate the question. The response is really that this program is really about supporting people in their personal dignity. I think one of the participants spoke about it earlier. Councilmember Oriata said it best. It really is about giving people the ability to have some time and space to make good decisions. If you're completely stressed out, if you are barely making ends meet, it is absolutely impossible to make good decisions. We saw during the global health pandemic that people who were not just low income, not just youth who were aging out of foster care, not seniors who were living on the margins, have access to cash. If you earned up to $400,000 during the global health pandemic, you received a cash transfer, because it was acknowledged that when things are challenging, when there's a crisis, you need a reserve. You need an access to a cash reserve in order to make it. But just imagine that there are some people who are living on the edge all year long. They're living on the edge for decades or for generations. And so all of the data shows that the majority of people, and I think it's somewhere in the upper 90% of people, use the resources for productive things. They use it to buy a car if they don't have one. They use it to save up for a down payment so that they can rent an apartment. They use it for food. Some people will stop a second job so that they can spend more time with their family. As Councilmember Oriadas offered, they use it for childcare. There are so many productive uses for an additional $800 a month that people just wouldn't have access to unless they're working 24 hours around the clock. And so none of the data points to a high propensity for nefarious use. And that is from the Stockton California pilot, which was one of the first that we can point to all the cash transfer work that we did during the course of the global health pandemic up until now. It all points to productive use. And I appreciate the gentleman offering the response on support. So we're not just handing out cash. The reason that we're working with UCAP and the reason that we're working with court-appointed special advocates is because they have relationships with the youth, because they can wrap their arms around them, youth and the seniors, wrap their arms around them and guide them, provide advisory support along with some financial capability advice. And so it's not just handing out a cash and leaving them to their own. It really is cash plus support and other services.
Yeah, right down the back.
Who actually qualifies for the program? Is it just for seniors and for people that are coming out of the foster system? I think during COVID, there was a time where many people were surviving off of that $500 stipend that we were receiving. And so ultimately for middle-aged people that's my age or, you know, within this range, would it be an option to extend this type of program to those who are still living on edge but aren't a part of these categories?
You know, if we had our wish, we would be able to make it available for, you know, as many people who need it. But in designing this particular program, we really had to think about who were some of the populations that had barriers and with some additional resources could really be able to make it. Part of what we aim to do is really use this pilot and other pilots from around the entire region to make the case for a broad-based policy consideration. You know, what if, again, if we know that the cost of living in this region, wages have not kept pace with the cost of living. And so there has to be something that bridges this gap between, you know, those, again, who are barely making it and the opportunity to thrive and prosper. And so philanthropy, unfortunately, can't do it all. And as much as we are excited about a government investment, you know, $4 million will only stretch, but so far. And so we chose populations that we thought could make the best case for what it would look like to potentially expand this beyond those two populations.
Another from Letitia.
Let's see, we have Letitia and then Jay.
Thank you. Two questions. Letitia with the Post. My first question is, could you walk me through the timeline of how the money came about? I remember when this passed in April, there were concerns amid our budget. There were concerns from other council members, even though they supported it, about how is this going to be funded? So I just kind of want to know how we got here today. And then the second one, I know we're at the launch, but also what do you guys see after the 2 years of this program being active?
Those are great questions. You know, partnerships take time. And I think the best lesson out of this example is sticking with it, and sticking with it in relationship with people who, you know, share your values, share your commitment to community, and not giving up. And I think that the partnership between the Office of the County Executive, the County Council, Meyer Foundation, Social Services, the Community Foundation is just the example of what sticking with partnerships based on values and commitment community can really yield. The resources, you know, it's not easy to assemble a $4 million investment. And so everyone had to figure out where we could, you know, move resources from in order to make it work. We were very fortunate that the Community Foundation had some experience, and Meyer Foundation actually, in investing in these partnerships around the region, and we were committed to bringing it here. Councilmember Oriada's legislation got the County Council connected and engaged, and we were super excited when the County Executive's Office came at sort of at the end of the deal and said, you know what, I think we have a resource. I think we can make this work. Partnerships take time.
Jay had a question.
What are you hearing from the governor's office in terms of the potential for this to be more permanent
public policy? And maybe a follow-up question to that, to kind of broaden it, is what do you think is the greatest barrier to this not occurring? Do you just feel like it's going to take time for all these pilot programs to kind of prove the data out in order for it to become public?
I'll invite the county executive to talk about the governor's interest, please.
Thank you. So first of all, I do want to just again say thank you so much to Tonya Wellens for her leadership, and Dr. Askew and Gloria Brown Burnett, and everyone who made today possible. I know we're also joined by United Communities Against Poverty. I want to thank also the leadership there. And as far as the governor is concerned, the governor has made it very clear that he is interested in ending childhood poverty. This is a priority that fits right in his wheelhouse. And so we'll continue to work with his administration on this and other efforts to reduce poverty among children. There's also and Dr. Ariola, I want to thank him also so much for picking this up and moving it forward. But I can tell you that this administration continues to work with the governor, not only on childhood poverty, but as you can see, we are really working also to close the wealth gap. And that means for all of our families. That includes affordable housing. The governor's office has made a serious commitment there. We have just in the last couple of years funded about 5,000 or preserved 5,000 units of affordable housing. So we know that this effort is not just this one piece of it, but as we look at it as a whole, you will see this administration and the governor continue to work hand in hand to do what we can to create economic opportunity for all of our families. That's those who are in foster care, our seniors. You just saw the huge announcement regarding the FBI coming to Maryland, which was huge, generational opportunity to close the wealth gap. The governor remains excited about this and other programs, and we'll just continue to work with them to see how we can continue the funding.
Any other
Question?
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We do want to do, for all of our partners, we know we want to get a group photo. So for everyone who's here and part of this today.